I've changed a lot since my first year at camp, and I know that's not, too surprising to you because I was really young my first year at camp. But I used to be this crazy 10-year-old with the attention span of a puppy. I probably still have that attention span, but I've gotten a little bit better, I think. I never wanted to sit down and be forced to wait through some chapel or Bible class that I probably didn't really even get that much at the time. All I wanted to do was play, team sports and do arts and crafts and do all the fun stuff again. Whenever I think back a long time ago, whenever I was a squirrel or I was a rising sun, camp wasn't the same. It was a lot different than it is now. Like, we used to have our morning chapel out at the Groves Village, and we used to walk up to the summit every single morning. And this year, we've changed a lot of stuff, just from last year. There's been a lot of stuff that we have changed at church camp. And, some stuff people like and some stuff people don't. And, but I think, all this change is good that we're doing here, change it up some, not do the same thing every year. I like that about church camp. But whenever I think about that change, I think about a different kind of change that isn't really good that happened at church camp. Whenever I think about that, it's the change of people. Whenever I was a squirrel, whenever I was in those younger cabins, there was people there that aren't here anymore. And that change is probably my worst memory of church camp. The fact that they're not coming here anymore and probably lost right now. So, how do we change that? How do we keep ourselves from not coming back? How do we keep ourselves to act the same way off the mountain? I've heard that every single time. It seems like every single year, some guy comes up and says, we need to try our best to stay the same way when we come off the mountain. But whenever we do come off the mountain, the only way we can possibly change is if we actually change the way that we do things. If we come off this mountain and expect, if you come off this mountain and expect yourself to keep acting the same way whenever you're hanging out with the same bad group of kids, whenever you're doing the same bad things, whenever you're not going to church as much as you should, you're thinking wrong, because you're not gonna keep this flame. You're not gonna keep this fire that's burning in you, and you're not gonna be able to keep it up as few leaders can. You have to make the sacrifices necessary. And connections this week that we've been talking about, the connections that we have, is so important in this. We need to connect to people so that they can help us. One person isn't strong at all, but if you put 2 or 3 or 4 together, you have a youth group at your church. There's a lot of people in my youth group, and they make me really strong. So whenever we come off this mountain, whenever we leave here, we need to make those sacrifices to actually keep doing what we all want to be doing. I don't want to see all these squirrels that are here. I know there's a lot more squirrels than I've seen this year. And there's a lot more magnolia willows that there are seniors this year. Not magnolia, that's what I'm having, but there's a lot more. But I don't want to see y'all do the same thing that a ton, absolute ton of people that were some of my best friends did. I don't want to see y'all fall away like how they did. Don't stop. Don't stop doing the stuff that we learn here. Don't stop doing it, because if you do, you might just fall away from the church.